Today's story is about a stepdaughter who does something so incredibly horrible that she puts her stepmother, who by the way is pregnant, at severe risk of being kicked out of her home. And you might be wondering, well, how the heck can a stepdaughter have this type of pull? Well, here's the thing. This stepdaughter is like a mastermind when it comes to phones and technology. And she came up with a way to send a fake text message to her father. And the reason she's doing that is to frame her stepmom, because she doesn't want her stepmom to live in the house, because she thinks that the new baby that's going to be born will take away all her attention. And if you think that sounds ridiculous, we're just getting started. Guys, I hope you're having a great day. I have every update. We're going to analyze and discuss a couple comments. Let's get into it. I don't even know where to start with this. I'm sitting here in the middle of the morning feeding my daughter, and I just need to get this out in the air because I feel like I'm going insane. I need perspective. Maybe I just need to scream. I don't know anymore. My name is Carrie. 35 female, and my ex-fiancé Daniel is 39, about to turn 40. He has a daughter, Ashley, who's 14 years of age. Daniel's first wife passed away when Ashley was 5. Cancer. It was devastating for the two of them, obviously. I came into their lives when Ashley was 9. I need to be clear about something from the start. I never tried to replace her mom, never. I knew my place. I knew I was coming into a family that had experienced profound loss, but I did try to build something with Ashley. Gosh, did I try. Looking back, maybe I tried a bit too hard. I was so eager to show her I was not the evil stepmother from fairy tales. I went to every school event, remembered every friend's name, and learned to make her favorite food. I gave her space when she needed it, but made sure that she knew that I was there. For 5 years, I tried to thread that impossible needle between being supportive and not overstepping. But she's never warmed up to me, not really. Sure, she would be polite when Daniel was around, and she would say please and thank you, but there was always this wall, this coldness, like she was just waiting for me to leave. And you know what? I understood. I really did. She lost her mom at such a young age, and of course she'd be protective of her dad. Of course she would be weary of someone new. I told myself it would get better with time. Then maybe, when she was older, we could at least be friends. 3 weeks before everything went to hell, Daniel and I sat Ashley down to tell her I was pregnant. We've been trying for 2 years, 2 years worth of disappointment and fertility treatment and crying in bathroom stalls when another test came back negative. When we finally got the positive result, we were over the moon. Ashley wasn't. She didn't scream or throw a fit, she just got this look on her face like we betrayed her. She asked a few questions. When it's due, did we know if it was a boy or a girl? Then excused herself to her bedroom. See, Daniel thought it went well, all things considered. He said, "Oh, she just needs time to process it." I should have known something was wrong when she started being extra nice to me over the next few days. Well, asking if I needed help with anything, smiling more, it felt off. But I was so hopeful, you know. I thought maybe the baby news had shifted something, and then came the night that destroyed it all. It was a Thursday. I remember because I was making lasagna, Daniel's favorite. He came home from work, and his face, I've never seen him look at me like that, like I was a stranger, like I was something disgusting that he found on the bottom of his shoe. He threw his phone at me. Not physically like threw it at me, but he slammed it down on the counter. Right in front of me. "Explain this," he said, with his voice icy. On the screen was text messages. From me, apparently. Messages I've never sent, never even thought, and they were horrible. Saying the baby would replace Ashley and that she had to give up her room. That Daniel would not have time for her anymore once our real family started, and that I was counting down the days until she left for college so we could be a proper family. I stared at them with my mind blank. "I didn't send these," I said. "Daniel, I would never." "Oh, Ashley showed me everything. She has the screenshot. She's in her room crying because the woman I was going to marry has been telling her she's being replaced." I tried to explain, and I pulled out my phone to show him my actual messages with Ashley, bland stuff about homework and dinner. But he wouldn't look. He just kept shaking his head. "I can't believe I let you into our lives. I can't believe I was blinded." The things that he said next. I can't even type them out. He calls me manipulative, a liar, said that I've shown my true color and that he'd always suspected I was just tolerating Ashley to get to him. He told me the engagement was off and I had a month to find somewhere else to live. I begged, gosh, I pleaded. Pregnant, crying, trying to show him my phone, trying to make him see reason, but he simply would not hear it. He grabbed the ring off my finger, actually grabbed my hand and pulled it off, and told me to get the hell out, said he wants to comfort his daughter and doesn't want anything to do with me. I drove to my mother's house in a daze. I couldn't stop shaking. My mother held me while I sobbed and tried to make sense of what had happened. How could he believe that I'd say those things after 5 years together, after everything we've been through? I didn't sleep that night. Or the next. I kept checking my phone, waiting for him to text, to call, to realize something was not right, and he did text once. A long message about how he did not recognize me anymore. How he couldn't believe I've been so cruel to a child who'd already lost so much, and how he would do whatever it took to protect Ashley from me. From me, like I was the villain in the story. A week passed, and the longest week of my life. I was staying in my childhood bedroom, trying to figure out how to untangle 5 years of a shared life, trying to process that I've been raising this baby alone, and my mother kept bringing me food I couldn't eat and water I forgot to drink. And then Ashley's friend cracked. I don't really know the full deets. Daniel just tells me later that the friend felt guilty and confessed to her parents, who made her tell Daniel. But the short version? Ashley and this friend of hers, they faked it, the whole thing. They'd used some application to create a fake text conversation, and Ashley was the one who orchestrated it. Daniel showed up at my mother's house that same night. It was raining, I'll never forget, because, well, of course it was. He looked destroyed, kept saying, I'm sorry, and he told me what the friend had confessed, how Ashley had planned it after we announced the pregnancy, how she'd recruited her friend to help make it look real. He had the ring in his hand and he wanted me to take it back, wanted us to go home and work through this together. He said that he'd reacted like any other father would, that when he thought somebody was hurting his child, he had to protect her. But now he knew the truth and we could fix this. We could be a family. I think I laughed. Not because anything was funny per se, but because what else could I do? He would throw me away like garbage based on screenshots from a 14-year-old. He'd never asked for my side, never wondered why these supposed messages did not match 5 years of behavior, and never gave me even a moment to defend myself. You believed the worst of me instantly. You didn't even hesitate, I told him. He tried to explain, said something about how convincing the messages looked, how Ashley had been so upset, how he had acted on pure instinct. But all I could think was, what happens next time? What if our child breaks something and blames me? What if Ashley lies again? She's a liar. Would he turn on me just as fast? But I was pregnant, hormonal, scared, and despite everything, I loved him. So after making him wait a few days, I agreed to come back, temporarily, to see if we could work through it. I hope I don't regret this, but I'll update you guys soon enough. Update number 1 posted 2 months ago. Yeah, I caved. I moved back in after a month. Daniel made Ashley apologize to me, and it was one of the most awkward conversations of my life. She just stood there looking at her feet, mumbling about how sorry she was, how she didn't mean for it to go so far, and how she was just scared about the baby. Daniel prompted her to say more, and to explain what she did. She starts crying then, like real tears, not fake ones from her performance before, and said that she was afraid her dad would love the baby more. That I'd finally have a real reason to push her out, and that everything would change. I should have felt sympathy, I know it. This was a grieving child acting out of fear, but all I felt was empty. She's blown up my life because she's scared? And Daniel let her. We tried to make it work, family dinners where everybody pushed food around their plate, movie nights where we all stared at the screen without watching, and Daniel tried too hard to act like everything was normal. Ashley being performatively helpful, setting the table without being asked, offering to help with the baby preparation. But I couldn't shake the feeling. You know, when you break a plate and glue it back together, it might hold water again, but you can always see the crack. That's what our relationship felt like. Functional but fractured. So I lasted 3 weeks before I sat Daniel down for a real conversation. I told him I could not do this, not now, maybe not ever. The trust is gone, and every time he left for work, I wondered what he would believe when he came home. Every time Ashley was so quiet, I wondered what she was planning. I told him I need space, real space, Maybe in just, a few years, when things get calmer, we can try again. But I can't rebuild this relationship while growing a human. I need peace. He didn't even fight me. I think that he knew it was coming, and we talked about the baby, about custody, about how to move forward, and I told him I wanted full custody for the first 3 years. I couldn't trust Ashley around our kid. Not unsupervised, not after what she had done. He agreed to everything. Neither of us wanted lawyers involved if we could avoid it, and we would co-parent but separately. He could see the baby, be involved, but the baby would live with me. Ashley went to stay with Daniel's mom after a while, after I moved out the second time. I heard that she was in therapy, which is good. She needs help processing it, her mother's death, her fears, what she's done. The baby came 2 months ago, a perfect little girl, Sophie. Daniel was there, because despite everything, he is the father. He cried when he held her and said that she looks like his mom. Ashley had not met her yet. She's been at summer camp. Convenient, huh? Honestly, Daniel asked if she could meet Sophie when she gets back, and I said we'd see. I need to think about it. I'm not trying to punish her, I swear. I know that she's been through hell and back. Losing a parent that young, I can't even imagine, but I also can't pretend that what she did not cause real damage. That it did not blow up 3 lives because she was scared. I need to protect my peace, and more importantly, I need to protect Sophie. She deserves to come into this world without being anyone's emotional punching bag, without being resented for simply existing. Maybe I'm being too harsh, maybe I should be the big person, but I'm tired of being the bigger person. I tried that for 5 years, and look where it got me. Final update, posted exactly 3 days ago. Hey guys, I thought I was done updating, but things have a way of getting worse, and I need to document this somehow in case I need it for court. Ashley came back from camp last week, and Daniel asked if we could arrange a meeting, just a short visit so she could meet Sophie. I was hesitant, but I agreed to be supervised, these little visits at his mother's house. I like his mom, Sharon. She's always been kind to me, and she was furious when she found out what Ashley did. The visit was awkward. Ashley barely looked at Sophie. She held her for maybe 30 seconds when Sharon insisted, then passed her back like she was handling a bomb. She kept checking her phone, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something is up, but I told myself I'm being paranoid. I should have trusted my gut though, because 5 days later, my coworker Rachel sent me a link to an Instagram post with 3 question marks as a message. My stomach dropped before I even opened it. The account username was Baby Replacement Drama Llama, with Sophie's newborn photo as the profile picture, and the bio said the replacement she never wanted. Watch the drama unfold. I watched in horror. As the video played video after video, someone had edited together clips from my baby shower. How did they even get it? What looked like a doorbell camera footage from the visit at Sharon's house and old photos from Daniel's Instagram, all set to trending audio clips mocking me. The captions were cruel. Point of view. You're 14 and your dad's new wife said this is your real sister now. Throw up emoji. Step monster got everything she wanted. Daddy chose wrong. The awkward moment when the babysitter becomes the baby mama. She really said oh with the old and in with the new. The comments were worse, hundreds of strangers calling me every name in the book imaginable, saying I was a homewrecker, despite meeting Daniel 4 years after his wife died, saying I baby-trapped him, and saying Ashley deserves a better mom. Somebody had even found my book of face, and was sharing all the photos of me mocking my appearance, my job, everything. But the worst part? Some of the videos had Sophie in them, my 2-month-old daughter's face plastered across the internet for strangers to use as a hate campaign. I called Daniel immediately, real quick. He swore he didn't know anything about it, and I could hear the panic in his voice, and he was at work but said he would come home right away. Check Ashley's phone. What? No, she wouldn't, he said, and I said check her phone. He called me back an hour later with a flat voice. The account is linked to her email. Of course it was. He made her delete everything, and the account, the videos, all of it. Too late though, people have already screenshotted, recorded, reposted. It had 100,000 views. My baby's face was out there now, being used as ammunition in some teenager's vendetta against me. Ashley's apparently breaking down, said she didn't think it would blow up. She just wanted to vent about the situation at hand, and Daniel brought her over to apologize that same night. I didn't let him in. I stood on my porch holding Sophie and told them both to leave, and Ashley was crying, and Daniel was begging me to let them explain, but I was done. How many times was I supposed to accept apology campaigns meant to absolutely destroy me? How many times was I supposed to forgive a child, okay, who, kept finding new ways to go about hurting me? She posted my infant daughter on social media to mock her existence. She invited strangers to hate on both of us. That's not venting, that's targeted harassment. So, Daniel, he tried to intervene, of course he did. Tried to argue that she's just a kid, that she didn't understand how the internet worked and therapy is helping, but I was done with this, okay? I filed for formal custody the next morning. Full legal and physical custody with supervised visitation. Was I wrong for that? I also filed for protective orders preventing Ashley from posting any images or information about Sophie online, and requiring all visits to be supervised by a court-appointed monitor, not family. Daniel has been texting and calling literally nonstop. He's offered couples therapy, family therapy, parenting classes, and he says he'll do whatever. That Ashley needs help, not punishment. That we can work through this as a family. But here's the thing, we're not a family. We have not been one since the night he threw me out like trash on trash day. Ashley made sure of it, and now she's made it crystal clear that she'll use my daughter as a weapon in whatever war she's thinking that she's fighting. I'm not naive. I simply know that she's hurting. I do. I know that she's a child dealing with trauma and loss and fear, but my daughter is also a child, an infant who did not ask to be born into this dysfunction, and if I have to choose between protecting Ashley's feeling and protecting Sophia's safety and privacy, that's not even a hard choice. The court date is in exactly 2 weeks. Daniel, he hired a lawyer, which means I had to hire one too. 5 years together, and now we're going to battle it out in court over the baby we once cried happy tears about. My mom keeps asking if I'm sure about this, if I really want to go nuclear, but what's the alternative? Wait for the next attack? Wonder what Ashley will do when Sophie starts walking, talking, and getting attention that Ashley thinks belongs to her. I gave him chances. I gave her chances. Hell, I came back after destroying me the first time, but my baby gets one shot at a peaceful childhood, and I will not let her grow up as someone else's punching bag. I'm done being understanding, done being the big person, done pretending this is fixable. Sometimes protecting your child means admitting that some relationships are too broken to save. Even if it breaks your heart, even if strangers on the interweb think that you're the villain. Sophie is sleeping next to me as I type this, perfect and innocent and unaware that she's already been weaponized in someone else's pain. I'll do whatever it takes to keep her safe, even if that means burning every bridge I once thought would lead to family. That's my update, probably my last one. Wish me luck in court, I guess. I'm gonna need it. Well, honestly, I did not expect this story to end that way. I personally thought that OP was going to work it out with her husband and go back to him, arms wide open. But it seems even she is done putting up with the stepdaughter. She's done putting up with her ex, who, by the way, always took his daughter's side, which, isn't a bad thing because it's his daughter. But when it's been proven time and time and time again that his daughter is a liar, you might think, you know what, maybe I shouldn't just instantly take her side. Guys, I want to review some comments. Some of these comments have different opinions, and the first one says, you're the a-hole and you know it. That's right, guys. They're calling OP the a-hole. Let's read about it. See, that girl lost her mother at 5 years of age, and you're punishing her for being scared. She's 14. The internet Instagram thing was dumb, but teenagers do dumb crap when they're hurting. You claim you tried for 5 years, but the second things got hard, you bailed. Now you're using your baby as a weapon to hurt and traumatize a child even more. You're exactly the evil stepmother she was afraid you'd be. Daniel dodged the bullet, if you ask me. You didn't dodge the bullet from Daniel, he dodged it from you. That poor girl needs therapy, not more abandonment. And you're literally proving her worst fear right by pushing her out of her father's life completely. Guys, Believe it or not, there was an overwhelming amount of people who agreed with that comment. And some parts of the comment I do agree with. Like when they say the poor girl needs therapy, she needs no abandonment. That's not what she needs. I agree. She doesn't need abandonment. But they're not taking OP's perspective into consideration. The fact that OP had to deal with this lie that ruined her relationship and she's just supposed to forget about it because the girl's 14, I get it. It sucks to be on both ends of the stick. But let's read comment number 2. It says, not the a-hole. So this person is already starting to think a little different than the first comment. Holy crap, not the a-hole, not the a-hole, not the a-hole. Oh man, the comments victim blaming you are insane. She didn't just lie once. She created an entire fake evidence trial to destroy your relationship while you were pregnant. Then she put your infant on social media for harassment. That's not a teenage mistake, that's calculated cruelty. You tried to forgive once and she escalated. You have every right to protect your baby from someone who's showing that they'll weaponize her existence. 14 is enough to know better. We all know that. Imagine when you were 14, would you have done this? Trauma explains behavior, but does not excuse it. Stand your ground, mama. Sophie deserves better than growing up as Ashley's emotional punching bag. You're right. So, guys, there it is. The second opinion, which had a different thought than the first comment. I need to know from you guys which comment you're leaning towards more. In my opinion, I wish there was a mix of both comments. Because, yeah, I see one side, she's 14, she lost her mom, she went through a lot of trauma, her dad seems to be moving on without her, and there's just no telling what's going on in her mind. But at the same time, OP is obviously the victim here. She didn't make the fake text message. She didn't lie to her husband. No, all she tried to do was tell him the truth, and he didn't want to hear it. Guys, drop your comments down below. Let's talk about it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you want more daily stories, the best thing to do is subscribe. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. And of course, remember one thing. It's cool to be kind. See ya.